Alright, what's going on YouTube? This is going to be just a quick video, I guess kind of just all around the new Snail changes. I've heard some things about certain units that hold differently, etc. So we're just going to make some quick run-throughs. So the first one that people said is different was Windhawk, which I'm not necessarily sure about, right? I guess it kind of depends. I've heard anywhere from 65% now leak to 80% leak, which is different. 67 though, so it seems like it doesn't look different to me. We'll do it one more time for sake of consistency. It does not seem to look different to me. In at least a starting position like this. This is normally where I'd start, right? So it isn't too big of a deal. Let's see what happens here. The previous value of a leak with a Windhawk to a Snail was 67%, chat. So another 67% doesn't really matter. It seems to be the same. So nothing too crazy there. Let's go in and switch to, and remember it's Shift B to switch over. I'm gonna go Forsaken here. We'll do a couple different tests with the Forsaken now. So let's try a Snail on one to a gate guard. This was a 42% leak in the last patch. Let's see what it currently is now. The question really comes down to not if the Snail changed that much, and it comes down to more if the Snail's HP buff makes it so that you are slightly, like you need one more attack to kill the Snail. And that really should be all it is, right? And it seems to be about the same for Gate Guard. So Chaos, the Chaos Hound should kill one more here. Hit 42% again, so nothing too different. It didn't look like it was that off either. So what other things are we thinking on one? I know for a fact that a double, a 3-stack Nico Mata will hold still to a Snail.
Welcome.
We'll try a Wildshroom. I do know an Oathbreaker is a lot worse, but I believe they said they'd be changing it. So we'll see what kind of happens here. Let's see how much the Snail leaks. To me, it looks like the Snail died with the same amount of attack numbers, right? So at that point, it's more or less about the attack numbers than anything else. 67%, same for the Wildshroom. I know this is one that people keep telling me about, Oathbreaker. Oathbreaker will be getting fixed, allegedly, from what I've heard. So we'll see about this. I've heard anywhere from 50 to 90%, 80% with, or 90% with the Oathbreaker now. Skeleton, so Bone Crusher, does still hold one. That's never been a problem. It's more or less about Wave 2 with Skeleton, Bone Crusher, which we will be talking about. So in this situation, it did kill the Snail. So that's a positive. %. So this is post. Did they change it in between the most recent patch? Because they did a hotfix, and they might have changed it so it doesn't leak as much now. I think it kind of comes down to when the Snail actually gets killed. Okay, so the Snail gets killed relatively early here, and that's really, I think, the thing that matters. %. So it seems to be that it was changed, because I was hearing anywhere from 60, some odd 50 to 90%. If it only leaks 25 to 30%, you know, 20 to 40%, that ain't too bad. I think the real important thing though is here, when does this Snail die, right? because that's important. So it gets hit pretty early there. Okay, so what I'm hearing is if Snail does not die, it can leak anywhere from 20% to 90%. Keep that in mind. We'll try again with a different positioning, maybe. Let's try, what was your positioning, Bevo, if you don't mind me asking? You got 100% leak with your first try? Okay. So we're looking at, it's definitely still leaking. Heavy sometimes. So Oathbreaker is now an RNG unit. It either full holds or it dies. So I'm getting good RNG, I guess. Where my Oathbreaker is killing the Snail. That is huge, though. Like, this one is going to be a 83%. You notice how many of them are one-shot. So, Oathbreaker now is definitely not a start I would recommend. So let's go wave 2. That's just a no-go. In my opinion, if you're getting a Snail there, you're dead, and that's just not worth it. So there's a couple of things I wanted to test here. One of which is how bad does this leak to a Snail on 2 now? Because this used to not leak at all with the buzz, I believe, because the buzz would deal so much damage to one of these units. But I've heard that this will leak a lot now. It used to be at most like a 1 or 2% leak, a 1 or 2 creeper leak. Let's see what happens. I've read that this one can be a problem, so we'll see. Seems to me like it's doing about the same. Okay, so this isn't that bad. This is, again, best case scenario, though. It's leaking just the... Okay. So let's go with a unit that isn't as good on wave 2 for it. Let's go, let's say you have Poly. Poly's an option. This one should do a lot less in terms of DPS and everything. I'm just curious because I can't remember the exact percentage this would have leaked previous patch, but I want to at least test it to show people what the differences are. And then I'm going to next test Bone Crusher. So pop over to that, give ourselves a little bit of time. It seems to be like you're only going to leak a very limited amount, 33%, so I can't say this is too terrible. I really can't. I don't think Green Devil should be that strong in most situations, right? So I think that's fine. We will get to Grarl on wave 2. Poor guy. So this is a build that I used to do, and I still do. To hold 5 worker with Crusher on wave 2. Let's try this here. See if this leaks. This was always a little bit close, right? Like it was never stupid easy holds, but it was always close to leaking. You know, on that teeter-totter edge. Let's see how it goes now. It seems like the Snail might not do enough still. This is where I was curious, because this is a huge start for me. It's a really good start. Allows you to get pushed to 6 worker pretty quickly. Looks good to me. Crusher's sustaining well enough. This is a hold. The only other option I want to test with this is a kitty cat, because it's another option that I would do occasionally with Crusher. Let's go like this. What about 2 snails? Did this hold 2 snails back in the day? I don't believe so. This was a build that you'd only hold 1 snail to, because that was all I ever built it for. If you were going to get 2 snails, I think you would have to have double, and I think this would hold though. I mean, this is a start that I've been doing for forever. So back in the day being a long-term thing, yes. You notice how the double snail, though, causes such a difference in aggro. This gargoyle staying alive forever. Same thing, though, with our split. Our split actually gets a kill. Yeah, this holds. If you add an extra Bone Warrior, this holds the double snail. So you can 5-worker this pretty easily still. There you go. So this would be a 5-worker start under normal circumstances if you didn't get a 20-on-1. Though a DT, I believe this does leak, so we can. I can show you guys that quick, because I guarantee I'm gonna get questioned about it now after this video drops. So it's only double snail, though they have to be out of income in most situations to get the DT to you. So it's like one of those. Is it really that worth it? Not really. In most situations for the enemy, it's gonna be not worth it for them. DT in this situation is almost always better if you can get it out. Crusher just doing Crusher things and staying alive for too long. So the problem is that the split doesn't pull enough. So if you wanted to hold the DT, you need to have these half a square higher. But then on turn, I think this leaks to a double snail. We can test it. So you get a couple more units on the right-hand side this time, and now the Crusher will sustain for longer, but your split does die quicker, right? And so that's where it's like it's a balancing act. You got to figure out where the split value is good and where it isn't, etc. This thing still will leak, but a lot slower. Regardless. Here's a bunch of ways you can use Crusher. You didn't leak Snail, so I think it's fine regardless. Now we're going to check out Grarl. So traditionally, if you get a 20-on-1, you'd be able to only leak 24%, 22% it was, I think, on wave 2. This is a pretty common situation where you want to get your tier 3 out earlier, right? Or tier 3 out while still being high worker count. I've read some drastically different numbers on this one. Someone said this leaks 94% now, which I didn't believe, but it does take a full extra hit to kill the snail, which is huge. It's leaking more, but I don't know how much more. An extra creep. It's 1 attack off, so it's an extra creep or 2. That's not the end of the world. I think that would negate you from getting a Fire Lord or like another 270 cost unit, but I don't think that will be the end of the world. So the only thing that you really need to worry about so far is, realistically, Oathbreaker. That's the only thing that really made a huge difference here. Chad, is there anything else you guys can think of that would be like questionable, right? I guess theoretically this is a start, right? This is a start, so you can go 5-worker bounty hunter on 2. You can get a snail. See how much this leaks. I think this leaked 42% back in the day, or 30-some percent, 33 or 42%. Elite Archer plus T1 split. Okay, I can check that. SSP. Gate Guard 5-worker literally doesn't change. Gate Guard 5-worker has no change whatsoever. And this doesn't really change either. How much does Skelly 6-worker start leak to Snail now? We can check. I think it really didn't. I still don't like Skelly 6 Worker. This is how I would build it at least. It's going to be in the 60s or 70%, but that's been how it always has been. I don't think this changes things too much. Because what was its health previously? Because it had 1 extra hit, so it went from something 49 down to 9. So what was its health previously? Does anybody know? The snails. Was it 280? Because if it was 280, it gives you 1 extra hit lost, but it's still 75% leak. So ice 10 less previously, so it would have been 1 extra creep hit. But I don't think that really makes too much of a difference because it takes more than 1 creep hit to kill an extra unit on the wave. Divine here. Let's go best case scenario. Slap your face. I don't think so. Someone asked in chat, Zeus with 2 snails. The reason why I say it doesn't matter is because if you don't get a 20-on-1 with Zeus, a lizard or DT will leak you more. So at that point, you want to be building something anyway, so double snail really doesn't change anything. I guess you could make the argument that double snail so you get income, but I still think it holds. We can test it, though. You're looking for wave 1 snail, I assume, SSP? That's how I would do this. I don't think it will matter, but we'll see. This is, I think, a better case scenario for the unit. I think the Chain Fist is, I think, best in this situation, being that this is all Pierce. Easy hold. Not even close. Let's go worse units. Let's go worse units. Where's my rat at? It's okay.
Welcome to Nova.
Shift B to pull up that menu. I think this is like worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is a double rat. Because no one in their right minds places only a single rat, because I don't think that helped begin with. It might have. Judging by how much health this thing still has, it might have. Double snail on 2, I don't think leaks Halo. Gosu, someone said that earlier in chat. I think it holds with like 20%. 20 health, but I think it still holds. I really don't like Halo on 1 start, though, to begin with. This is absolutely worst case scenario SSP. Let's see how this goes. I did a bounty hunter on 2, and it leaked 42%, so it's 1 creep extra. Worst case scenario, you still hold. I'll run it back. Okay, so Gorilla's saying in the chat that Gatling is noticeably worse to double snail on 2. Snails are stronger than before, yes. You'll get RNG, but at most you're leaking 20%, so Antler 2 won't leak. That would never have leaked.
In my sights.
To double snail. Wave 2, double snail. It's annoying. This is how I have to get this unit.
Welcome to Nova.
This. Nothing really has changed, guys. Of all the units that I found, this literally changes like nothing. You might leak one more creep on a wave. I think this was touted as like this big leak potential, and I just don't, it doesn't change much. 25%. Not bad. If I'm being honest, I think the scare that this was going to change a whole lot. Outside of Oathbreaker, there is like nothing that's different, in my opinion. Like one creep here or there, early game like this, is not going to kill you. Nor is it going to end your career or anything crazy. You're talking very minimal leak on 2 to double Snail. Oh, that was not meant to happen, but... It could even help you with Fiesta, yeah. Oathbreaker is now completely unusable because it leaks like anywhere from 20% to 90%, Joseph. So keep that in mind, 20% to 90% leak. This will all be on YouTube as well. I'm just gonna try this one more time. 25, 35. Trying to get an instance where it doesn't snipe the snail as quick, but it's sniping the snail. Wave 1 Oathbreaker will leak every time. There is allegedly a hotfix coming in with it, but... No. I don't think this changes anything. It doesn't punish 5-worker starts, though. Every 5-worker start that I've tried, it doesn't change anything. Giant Snail is the exact same. So, like, the only 5-worker start that's anywhere different is Oathbreaker, and it just doesn't seem to change that much. So, like, I'm kind of confused by why this was a thing. Maybe it will make a difference mid-game, maybe a little bit, but at a certain point, like, it doesn't seem to really change anything. Nico Mata only leaked like 8% to when it's 4-stack, when it gets a snail. And Millennium doesn't. You leak 8%, so it's up from 0%. It used to full hold, but I'll showcase to you guys that if you didn't build anything with Zeus, this is why you build with Zeus, because DT or Lizard will leak you a ton. It's not because double Snail is a problem or worry. Or at least it used to be that DT would leak you a lot. It seems to be the case still. This has been Zeus forever. It's nothing new. Nothing new with Zeus. I'm just showcasing to you guys that double Snail doesn't really work that well. It will get you a pro league, sure, but most people will build a single one. Make 2 more difficult? No. Nope. Same thing. Double Snail doesn't leak it, so it doesn't matter. You can see here that it's better to do this. Anything else you guys want me to test? I mean, Millennium, I guess, doesn't one-shot the snail anymore, but... Showcase you that real quick. In my opinion, that doesn't change a whole lot still. Zerker wave 2? What, Zerker to double Snail? Zerker wave 2 will hold double Snail. So this is not even going to be close. I don't think, because Zerker got buff. But we'll see. Zerker attacks way quicker now, which is huge. Yozora won't link to double Snail on 2. Yeah, that's literally the only difference is between a 0% and 8% leak is that you yourself get to push a worker and also send larger. Windhawk Tempest Wave 2? Sure. I'll test double Snail. Well, the problem with Zerker now is not that it's a better start, it's that its primary use case for me and many others was when you could use it to both push hard and also get long waves. Now the long wave aspect of it is gone, which in turn kind of stinks. It just makes it so that you have less opportunity to save up with it. In this situation though, again, I think DT would be better. Adam's got a nerf and a buff, so I really don't think it will change a whole lot. I'll do this again though with a DT. I don't think I leak much if 2 creeps and a snail. Which I'll take that. Yeah, that's a positive for you. You're 5 worker at that point. If you're 5 worker at that point and leak 2 creeps and a snail, you're happy. I still think DT will leak more here, but we'll see. Yeah, War Gargoyle used to be slowest without Snail, but the problem is that was such an iffy round. If you, I'm getting Amber alerts because people are stupid. This one you leak slightly more. That's close though. Yeah. I don't know. Like that's kind of it. I tested a ton of them here. I don't really feel there's a whole lot that leaks differently now. Like I really don't know. Everything I've tested seems to leak maybe a little bit more, but most of the leaks I'm doing are high worker, right? So at that point it doesn't oppress the high worker count, it gives it an advantage, right? You're high worker and you're leaking small, perfect, give me the small leaks. Yeah, I don't really know what the purpose of this all was. That being said, this is kind of the end of the video here. We'll continue to talk on stream. If you don't know, I do stream every day on Twitch at flight_TV. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.